Good morning. We're really glad to be here. We've got some great stuff to show you today. Some of it is stuff that we introduced last month at Macworld in San Francisco, and some of it is brand new here for the first time. So we look forward to showing you some great stuff today. Well, let's get started. Now, you can help me today. You can help me by just letting me know if you like something, okay? That'd be great. So, first thing I want to talk about today is one of the most important, and that is Mac OS X. Mac OS X is going to go on sale on March 24th for 14,800 yen. You're going to be able to go and buy your own copy. And that is coming out in Japanese on the same day. We're going to be shipping one CD-ROM around the world with all of our core languages on it. So Japanese will be on every CD we ship around the world on March 24th. So let's examine the architecture of Mac OS X for a second. The architecture has 4 layers: Darwin, the foundation, the graphics, the frameworks, and our new user interface, Aqua. So let's take a look at Darwin. Darwin offers us some amazing new features for the Mac. First and foremost, protected memory so you don't crash. Secondly, virtual memory so that the computer manages the memory for you. You don't have to figure out how much memory to allocate to each application. Third, preemptive multitasking, so that one application doesn't block other applications. Next, multi-threading to help you juggle activities even more seamlessly. Next, symmetric multiprocessing, so that you get automatic acceleration when you add that second processor. We have BSD Unix services. This is a true Unix machine. We have BSD Unix, so you can talk to enterprise systems, you can talk to the rest of the world. Fully open source. We have open sourced Darwin. So we have a Linux-like community already making major contributions to Darwin that we're incorporating back into Mac OS X. So that's Darwin. Next is our graphics. We have 3 core systems in our graphics. Quartz, our whole new 2D graphics engine. OpenGL for 3D, and QuickTime. So Quartz renders PDF on the fly and anti-aliases it as well. We support all font formats, and we support compositing and transparency right in the graphics model. And you'll see what that means in a second. It's fast and it's stunning. And so that's Quartz. OpenGL. OpenGL is an industry standard 3D API for gaming and for high-end professional imaging. And we'll see some of that today as well. It takes full advantage of the hardware acceleration in the graphics chips, and it's also optimized to take advantage of the velocity engine in the G4. So that's OpenGL. And of course, QuickTime, we all know, industry standard. It's based on QuickTime 5. It's integrated right into the OS, so it can take advantage of the better plumbing in Mac OS X. So that is our graphics layer. We think it's superb. We think we have killer graphics in Mac OS X. And then our frameworks. We have 3 core frameworks in Mac OS X. The first is Classic. Classic runs existing Mac OS 9 apps as is, and it runs almost all Mac OS 9 apps. It's pretty amazing. But these applications don't get all the benefits of Mac OS X. They don't get preemptive multitasking. They don't get protected memory. They don't get Quartz. And so to take advantage of these new features, developers are tuning up their classic apps to go to Carbon. It's a tune-up that takes a few months, and all of a sudden their application springs to life, taking advantage of all the new features in Mac OS X. And then for those developers writing new apps, we have an extremely advanced object-oriented API called Cocoa. It's the fastest way to write an app in the industry, and it's pretty amazing. So we have all 3 of these APIs plus Java 2. We have a complete implementation of Java 2 very fast in Mac OS X, and those are our frameworks. And lastly, we have a whole new user interface on Mac OS X called Aqua, which is simply stunning. And I will show that to you in just a second. So that is the architecture of Mac OS X. And now I'd just like to show you some of the new features since we met here a year ago last year. So I have a computer running Mac OS X right here. This is one of the new screensavers. So here we are in Mac OS X. Now, let me go ahead and just show you some of the basics, of course. We, of course, have windows and menus, but things behave a little differently. You notice when I drag around the window, it doesn't just drag around a rectangle outline. It drags around all the contents of the window. And when I resize it, you see it resizing in real time. Right? Very simple. Pretty nice. In addition to that, we have a whole new thing called Sheets, which replaces all these panels that we used to have. Let me show you what happens when you try to go ahead and, let's say, save an application. You get a sheet popping down like this. You type in its name. You say, that's it. Very simple. And you can say, well, what happens if the window's really small, smaller than the sheet? Well, you get this. What happens if the window is really close to the edge? Well, you get this. Right? And Sheets provide an example of our philosophy in Mac OS X. This is the simplest save panel you've probably ever seen. You type in the name of the document, and this gives you all your common places to save things. The desktop, the home, on your iDisk here. Right in this panel here, you can save things to your iDisk. Favorite places, recent places. But what if you want to save something to somewhere that's not on this list? Only then can you push this button and get a complete browser where you can browse the whole file system and decide where you want to save this. And you can even add these things to that favorite list. So you can get very simple things most of the time, and when you need the complexity, you can unveil it instantly. But most of the time, things are much, much simpler than they've ever been before. Now, for those of you not familiar with the dock, I'd like to point that out as well. This down here is the dock. It contains your applications and also documents. You can move things around in the dock. You can put your most popular applications there. Let me go ahead and put a few more applications there. As I put more things in the dock, I'll just put these apps in. It just gets smaller. And the dock can keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And as you remove things, it'll just get bigger, like this. Very simple. And the dock's got some other fun features as well. I can turn off and on. I can change the size of my dock here for maximum size. I can also, if the dock gets small, turn on magnification. And now look at what I get. So I can always see things. I can even have my dock automatically hide, right, and only come up if I go to the bottom of the screen. Whoops, what's going on here? Like this. And be out of the way most of the time. But I like it like this. And I'll just leave it up for the rest of the demonstration. Now, let me go ahead and show you what it's like to miniaturize a document. If I'm using a document and I want to keep it around but just get it off the screen, I can hit the miniaturize button and it just goes right here. Right? Let me put another document down there. And now I've got two documents, and you can see it makes thumbnails automatically. And I just click them and they come back to the right place. Let me do this in slow motion so you can see how elegantly this is done. Now let me show you QuickTime. This is the new QuickTime player, and I'll just go ahead and play this movie here. Let me.
Of eternal beauty and infinite mystery.
You can see also the transparency that we have here. But let me show you something amazing. Watch this.
The story of a warrior. The woman he loved. A daring outlaw. And a princess destined to become a warrior.
So you can even drag this around. See that playing right there? So, you can put anything in the dock, even things that are animated, like QuickTime playing movies. Now I want to show you one other thing that we've added to the dock. We got a request by many users that when there are folders in the dock, they would like to see very quickly the contents of those folders. So watch this. I just go down and click on this, and I see all these things here now. And I can open something, boom, like that, right from the dock. And I have this on all my running applications as well, so I can see documents from those applications. I can take anything and do this in the dock. So watch this. I'll show you something else. I can go over here, and I can take my hard disk even, my entire hard disk, and put it down here in the dock, and watch this. I can even traverse my hard disk. I can go to Users. I can go to Phil or Steve right here. I can go to Documents or Pictures, and I can, again, bring up a picture like this. My entire hard disk right here from the dock. You know? Very fast way to get things. All right. You get the idea. So, we've got that. Now I want to show you some amazing stuff that is in Mac OS X. As you may know, there have never been good Japanese fonts shipped in a personal computer operating system. If you want to get over about 8,000 characters, and if you want to get a very beautiful font, you have to pay a fortune to go license these fonts on a per computer basis. What we have done is we have licensed the most beautiful Japanese fonts around, and we are bundling them in Mac OS X, in every copy of Mac OS X. 17,500 characters. So let me give you an example. This is just a simple document with some of these characters in it. I can bring up our new font panel and again show you the different faces that we have. It's very, very nice. Let me show you a few other documents here. Here's an example of some characters that just don't exist in normal personal computer font sets, right? Characters that you normally cannot get on a personal computer without paying a lot of money, all bundled into Mac OS X. Now I'd like to show you one last thing. Here's some characters right here. And I'm going to bring up again our new font panel. Our new font panel is pretty amazing, actually. It's got collections of fonts and families, and you can also shrink it down to make something even very small if you want to just leave it over here and still change sizes or change weights, etc. So I go back to my font panel, and I can just take these fonts and make them any size I want. And this is all built in to Mac OS X. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before. Okay. Lastly, I want to show you something we've done on the Finder that's been new. We got a lot of requests that people wanted different shortcut buttons up here than the ones that we had chosen for them. So we've allowed people to choose their own. So here we have a toolbar. I can simply go into this menu and say, customize the toolbar. And now I have all these options. I can say, well, here's my music folder. Here's my movies folder. I have a path name right here that I'll put. I have even the ability to bring up customization with a customize bar. And I can even do things like put up my iDisk right here, right on my toolbar. And I can select icons and text, or icons only, or I suppose even text only if that's what I want. And so when I'm done here now, this is my new toolbar. And I can go right to my movies, right to my music, right to my favorites. The path shows me the whole path here, if I want to use that. Of course, I can change my view instantly right here. And I can even connect to my iDisk instantly by pushing this. This is going to connect me over the internet to my iDisk on Apple servers. There it is right there. This is my iDisk. So I can put whatever I want in the toolbar, and I can take whatever I don't use out of the toolbar, put spacers in, and customize this exactly the way I want it. And also, if I shrink the window, these things just go into a menu right here, so they don't go away. Very, very simple. We think very, very powerful. So those are some of the new features I wanted to show you in Mac OS X. It's pretty amazing. It goes on sale March 24th.